GWATA TV gives you a first look at North Central Washington's business news. You'll hear from our local business, tech, and education companies as Jenny discusses hot topics and current events with some of the best innovators and pioneers in North Central Washington.
Hello, North Central Washington. My name is Jenny Rojanasatian, and I'm your host here on GWATA TV. GWATA is a 501c3 serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, and Okanogan counties. And this exclusive TV show is our chance to give you, the viewers at home, an inside look at some of the businesses in our region, to talk with educators and also community leaders. Today's episode is going to be focused on two different entrepreneurs in North Central Washington. I'm really excited to have the chance to interview the owner of Wenatchee Workspace, along with the tech company Incognito. So stay tuned for a great episode and get ready to learn. Welcome back to GWATA TV. I'm proud to introduce my first guest today, J. Michael Walker with Wenatchee Workspace. Welcome to GWATA TV.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're so excited about you and your new business, Wenatchee Workspace on Wenatchee Avenue. But before we talk about what your company is and what you're doing, I'd love for the audience to get to know you a little bit. So tell us about your background as an entrepreneur and...
Okay.
Yeah.
My background, 20 years or so ago, I was a software remarketer in the Valley for a startup out of Costa Mesa, California. We sold a document imaging system nationwide, and I was responsible for the marketing and kind of the business development model of that. And a very large customer of ours ended up being Chelan County Superior Court clerk here.
Okay.
Siri Woods was a customer back in the day, and she sat on the board of all the county clerks in the state of Washington and decided that this little application that we wrote for her and made specifically designed for her was a great thing, and we should go and sell it all over the state. And Siri was a force of nature, and we did just that. So we created this little niche in Wenatchee of doing the software integration for them. And it was wonderful, and we did that for probably 6 years or so. And then the person who owned the software company decided that he wanted to sell it. So they sold the software company. They wanted us to start reselling a new software to these same customers that had just purchased all of our software. So we decided that wasn't really going to be something that we were going to do.
Right.
So we just continued to support the customers that we had, and that business pretty much stopped at that point.
So background in tech.
Then
you headed into construction?
I kind of did a life change for a while. Yeah, I decided I wanted to have a lot of construction skills. So in order to do that, you need to spend a lot of time doing that sort of thing. So I decided that I would be a construction worker for a while to get some really useful, skills to be able to remodel my home that I was living in with my children. So we ended up doing that, an electrical apprenticeship and a construction apprenticeship with a guy that worked for my father, who was actually a gunsmith also. So this guy had a whole bunch of knowledge, and I wanted to glean as much knowledge from him as I possibly could. So I worked with him in doing a bunch of commercial construction projects, residential remodels, all kinds of different things, and learned all kinds of stuff with him. And then I ended up just continuing that and taking that forward and just working construction.
And then alongside construction, something I learned off air as well is that you're also an artist. So you're also applying
I've been accused of that. That's true.
The creative side
Yes.
of hands-on.
I like to, I don't know, I want to be able to do everything with my hands before I die. So I know that this is probably not very realistic, but it's something that I can strive towards in this lifetime. It's very ambitious, yes, very ambitious. And I just want to be able to do everything. I know that's probably not very realistic, but it would be nice to be able to dip your toe in a lot of different things. And I understand doing a lot of little things doesn't really ever make you very good at one particular thing, but I think that you can still continue doing the one vision that you have while you're doing all these other things in life and still experience a lot of different things.
And now with your new business, Wenatchee Workspace, you're kind of dipping your toes in a lot of things because co-working is not one uniform
No, absolutely
experience.
not. In fact, something I've recently read was that you walk into a co-working space, and every co-working space is as different as the owner who is sitting behind the desk there. And a lot of times they're typically something that the owner is very passionate about and is trying to bring that to the particular community that they're trying to bring the co-working space to. So in ours, it was very important that we wanted to communicate that, Wenatchee is this wonderful place where I have been raised. I raised my kids here. And we wanted to offer the community of Wenatchee a place for young entrepreneurs, and maybe older entrepreneurs like myself, to come out and to create something new. And we wanted to be able to give them the space to do that. And we've actually taken that one step further because we actually have SCORE, the entrepreneur mentorship group, is actually in our space, and they're offering services out of our space.
Perfect.
So we actually have the space, and we have people to help people create these ideas and take them forward.
And I think we'll pull on screen here. We've got some photos of your co-working facility. It's beautiful, very state-of-the-art. Tell us a little bit about who uses your facility and what services you can offer there.
The services that we have the ability to offer are like the booths that you're seeing right there. This is a small conference room, and you have the ability to rent this for $50 an hour if you have like a small conference. It's soundproofed in there so people can sit in the booth and have very candid conversations. In the conference room, we have the same thing. That's a 70-inch LCD Sharp Aquos screen that also has a digital whiteboard in it. So you have the ability to present to many people. You can fit about 12 people in here, and you can wirelessly connect to the TV. You can do teleconferencing in there if you need to. You can pitch your ideas to people. We have some soundproof phone booths. That's what you're looking at now.
Which I love the iPhone, kind of iconic.
Yeah, I mean, that's what a phone is today when everybody thinks of a phone. So those turned out great. This is the kitchen. That's a live edge Alaskan yellow cedar piece of wood that I milled from a friend of mine's tree that fell down in his front yard.
So you were able to apply your construction background as you literally built a brand new business.
Yeah, and I certainly didn't do it alone. I had a lot of help, but it turned out very beautiful. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud to put my name on it.
Yeah. And going back to what you said earlier, that co-working facilities really reflect a lot of the ownership or the passion of that person behind. So what is your vision for Wenatchee Workspace in the upcoming year? What are you excited to see with this partnership with SCORE? And
I'm excited that every single new person that comes in, they bring a new aspect to have the ability to collaborate. I mean, these people that come into these co-working spaces that I found are people who, if you were maybe standing in line at Starbucks, you would start talking to.
Right.
Or Mela, any place that you were. I mean, there are these people that have like this really creative spark in their eye, and you know that you want to talk to them. And what I find is that the people that come into our workspace, we sit and we have conversations with them, and we end up talking to them almost as much as they're using our space to do work. So we're creating this collaborative time. And the collaboration is extremely valuable to me, and I hope it's as valuable to the people who are using the workspace, because I want the space to be able to foster new ideas, new creativity, and the space that I've created hopefully is going to do that for people.
Well, we talked last night at GWATA's Tech Talk and Happy Hour about those who work from home or remote workers. And as you talked about, you don't have that engagement opportunity, right? You're not working day to day with other professionals.
Right.
So even that community spirit of grabbing a cup of coffee and
and not working in your home office and walking to the kitchen to get some coffee, and then maybe, stopping to unload the dishwasher because it'll only take a minute. And then if you do, I should probably just change the laundry also, because I'm here and I'm up and I'm not sitting down at my desk. And then, maybe I should just run up and make the bed, which I probably haven't done, but I should have. Right. And I think the day kind of gets away from you. But in a co-working space, you have the ability to sit in modern minimalism without a ton of distractions, and to be able to get on your grind, and do what it is you're there to do.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, first of all, for coming on GWATA TV, for being a part of this community and really having the vision and ambition to create this. We have to head to a commercial break, but as we thank J. Michael Walker for being here, I want to encourage the community to go check out his facility. How many days a week are you open?
We are open 5 days a week,
Okay.
Monday through Friday. I'm usually there from about 7-ish to 3 or 4-ish.
Okay.
That's kind of fluid, but
So lots of opportunities to connect in person and see the facility, and we look forward to having you on GWATA TV maybe next year to see an update on how it's going.
thank you very much. It's great to be here.
All right, stay tuned. Hello, North Central Washington. Welcome back to GWATA TV. If you are just joining us, today's episode is featuring two different entrepreneurs from our valley. I just interviewed J. Michael Walker of Wenatchee Workspace, and now I'm really excited to have Gary Kamen of Incognito, a technology company. So welcome to
Thank you.
GWATA TV.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're excited to have you on
Yeah,
air and
sure.
kind of share a little bit about you, your background, and what you're doing. So let's start there. Tell our audience a little bit about your background and work experience.
Yeah, sure. So much of my background is a combination of software marketing and software programming. I kind of started in college, actually, working as a programmer. And then soon after college, I started working for a large software company where we did a lot of marketing, a lot of direct response marketing. Worked there for about 6 or 7 years, and then I started working for a larger marketing company where I kind of sharpened my skills as being a programmer. Then we moved to Wenatchee in 2013, where I started transitioning into watching my kids full-time while my wife worked. And so that's when I decided to start this company here.
Wonderful.
Incognito, yeah.
So not a Wenatchee local, but had a
Wenatchee.
really in-depth background. If you see Gary's bio, it's quite impressive in technology. And you know, why do you think Wenatchee was a great place to kind of start into tech?
Yeah, sure. What I really like about Wenatchee is that it's such a friendly community. You know, so I don't want to say there's a low threshold to break into the tech scene, but such a friendly community that I've really had no problem making a lot of connections. And I feel like that might be a little more of a challenge in a larger city in Seattle or
Kind of that
so forth.
entrepreneurial support.
Right.
And
There's much more of a support structure here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that makes sense. And I want to kind of dive into what Incognito does and you know what your business is based on. But since you are a tech company and you have a little bit of a demo, let's start for our audience with a demo.
Incognito is the easiest way to collect anonymous feedback, suggestions, or tips from your employees, customers, or just about anyone else. Here's how it works. Simply enter the question you'd like answered and your email address above. Your box is set up in seconds, and you'll be given a unique box address to share on Facebook, Twitter, your website, or anywhere you'd like. You'll get your own dashboard where you can customize your box, view the responses you've received, and create more boxes as you need them. We relay messages back and forth without sharing contact info, which allows respondents to remain anonymous, chat live, or leave a message, all anonymously. And if you upgrade to the professional plan, you'll be able to create up to 24 more boxes, customize the URL of each box, add your own logo, let others manage your boxes, restrict your boxes by IP address or with a password. Collecting anonymous feedback from your employees, customers, or community with Incognito will ensure that you get honest, open feedback, ideas, and questions that you can put into action. Start your free 30-day trial now. Plans start at just $9 per month.
Okay, so we just saw your demo video to kind of set the stage. Let's dive in deeper. What problem does Incognito solve?
Sure.
What solution are you providing?
Yeah, so there's a lot of research out there that what I think points clearly to the fact that when people talk face to face, they don't give true feedback. You know, it's usually watered down. They usually try to say something that will make their superior feel like they've done a good job. So what we've done, and what we've done at its core, is certainly not unique. So what we do is we're a web-based tool that helps organizations collect feedback from customers, clients, employees, constituents, But then we take it a step further by letting people hold an anonymous conversation via the website, or you can either do it via the chat app or via the website. And what that does, we found, is kind of helps to close the feedback loop. You hear a lot about employee feedback loops, customer feedback loops. We're sort of the first part of that loop. So the first part usually says collect as much feedback as you possibly can. And a lot of times when organizations collect feedback, they're just collecting a single piece of feedback. They either have a physical suggestion box, or they just collect feedback from their website, or something like that. And a lot of times that leaves a lot of questions unanswered. So what our goal is to kind of jumpstart that process and let people ask many follow-up questions, try to figure out as much as they can to hopefully only close that feedback loop once.
And that's an important part of any business, right? Employee retention, engagement, culture is obviously at the core of any healthy organization.
Right.
You think about businesses, which most are either sales, have some sort of sales aspect, so whether that's B2B or from the consumer standpoint, they want that feedback as well. So I think it's really interesting that you can tailor to both of those audiences. And more than that, this is a product that can be used international, across the U.S. This is truly a worldwide product right here in Wenatchee.
We've tried to make it as generic white label as we possibly could. Most of our customers, clients at this point, work in the human resources space. I should say human resources, or someone who's highly vested in the company, a CEO or a president. But really, the application can be used by local government. It can be used by police forces to collect anonymous tips about crime occurring. It could be used by nonprofits. It's white label enough, and it's generic enough that it has a massive potential for pretty much any sector, I should say.
And I also noticed that you really put your pricing model to be approachable, right? So that it's a solution people can take advantage of.
Right.
Which I think was really interesting as far as your framing of your business.
Yeah, so what's somewhat common practice with larger software companies is that they don't show their prices up front. They try to talk to the client first and get a gauge or get a feel for how much they can pay, and then they custom tailor their prices. We've kind of flattened that. We have 3 simple plans: one for personal use, one for corporate use, and one for larger corporate use. Well, I shouldn't say larger corporate use. One for corporate use, or one for corporate use who also want to crowdsource. And so our top plan has this crowdsourcing platform to let you post the anonymous feedback that you've received to a public forum that would let people either vote on it or have a discussion about individual pieces of feedback. But we've kept it very simple. So we work with multinational corporations, we work with smaller businesses, all of which pay the same price.
Perfect.
Try to keep it fair.
I love that. And for those of you who have not heard of Incognito before, they're a GWATA member, they're part of our community, so I encourage you to connect. Unfortunately, we have to head out to a commercial break, but I want to thank you, Gary, for coming on air with me today. I look forward to having you in the future. And when we come back, we will wrap up for today's episode. I want to thank you for connecting with us today and learning about 2 great companies right here in North Central Washington. Today's episode featured Wenatchee Workspace, which is on Wenatchee Avenue, a great new co-working facility. So whether you're a remote worker or you need to host a meeting, consider checking them out for your next event, as well as a local technology company, Incognito, which is helping provide a platform online for anonymous feedback. So whether you're an employer or a business looking for customer feedback, another great option. The best part of my job is that I get to work daily with entrepreneurs who are changing and shaping North Central Washington. And a great outlet for meeting those entrepreneurs is GWATA's monthly Tech Talk and Happy Hour. That's right, once a month, GWATA is down at Badger Mountain Brewery on Orondo Avenue, meeting and mixing with the newest in tech, entrepreneurs. We also bring in our local educators so that we can meet new people, share ideas, and make great connections. So as a community member, I want to encourage you to come join us. Again, once a month, Tech Talk and Happy Hour is at Badger Mountain Brewery. We host this on the first Thursday of every month from 4:30 to 6. You can find out information on Tech Talk and Happy Hour, as well as the 2 members we featured today on the GWATA website, which is a great tool for you and your business. So I hope you'll come visit us soon. Until then, we'll see you next week.
Since 1999, GWATA has served as North Central Washington's Tech Alliance. As a 501c3, our mission is to bring people and technology resources together to create a thriving community. Through our work, we aim to inspire, engage, and connect.